All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wrestle Plug podcast. I'm Aaron Nix. Joining me once again for 20 minutes with is Kamikaze. Welcome back, brother.
Thank you very much, man. Sorry to put the pressure on you after these events, but I'm glad this might be one of the last times we see each other. So
yeah, you're shooting off home very soon, aren't you?
Very soon, yes, sir.
What's the official date that you're leaving?
November 12th, I fly out.
Because obviously this will be out before then. So if you get a chance to see Kamikaze before then, please do so. He's one of the preeminent high flyers, one of the best wrestlers in Canada. That says a lot, really, considering how much. Now, obviously, last time I spoke to you at a Wrestle gig like we are tonight.
That's true.
And we spoke about little things like just kind of a brief overgo of how the tour is going and things like that. Emotionally, how do you feel about leaving Great Britain? Is it something where you're adamant you have to come back now you've had a taste of it?
Adamant, I definitely need to come back, man. It's bittersweet. I mean, like, it's one of those things, you just make all these new friends and connections, and the work here is so consistent, and it's scary to think. I've been reflecting on it, like, if I were to stay out here for another 6 months, of what could happen, you know what I mean? Like, things just keep on just, by the grace of God, building up. And you know, I was originally only supposed to stay out here 2 months, and I just kept putting it off because like things are just moving on up, and you know, I'd be a fool to leave after 2-3 months. So I just put the pedal to the metal and push it to the limit. And it sucks to leave, it really does. But I got to tear up the scene back home for a bit and gather my bearings and recharge a bit. And they're definitely coming back. Definitely coming back. I have no choice but to, you know.
Yeah, you've blazed the trail here. Relative unknown coming here and now leaving as one of the biggest stars. Every show I've worked in, you know, we've worked at obviously places like All Star, Wrestle Force, BCD, IWE, and more. And every single one of Rumble as well. And every single one of those, everybody has said, yo, that Kamikaze, one of the most professional wrestlers.
God bless him, man. That's
Speaking of professionals, Dan Barnsdale's hovering around in the background.
Oh, jeez.
He hasn't been on the podcast in years, hasn't he, mate?
Great.
Come and join us. Come and join us, Dan.
Great.
Dan Barnsdale, MC for Wrestle Force tonight. Well done as always, sir.
Great work tonight. Oh, it's taking off okay, my man.
I've got to go. Safe journey, gents.
Take it easy, brother. Lovely to see you again, sir.
Take care.
Take it easy.
You never know who's going to pop up around.
Right, yeah, we get like, I think that's why I like this concept, because you get those little cameo appearances.
You're onto something here.
You're Dan Barnsdale, by the way, great referee, great MC, fantastic talent. Really,
hard-working guy.
Yeah, wasted in some places, that has to be said. But yeah, no, as I was saying, like, it must be quite, is it emotionally difficult leaving?
Yeah.
Or is it more a case of there's more of a challenge in Canada? Because you seem a very positive, very progressive kind of person anyway.
Right, have to be, but I mean, yeah, it's like I said, bittersweet. Like my sister had a child in May, and I'm an uncle for the first time, and that's the name of the game of the wrestling business. You miss out on birthdays, all these things. And once again, I missed out on this little guy, and I'm watching him grow up in pictures. So like, I need to see him. It's been like, I'm watching him grow up in pictures, and it just breaks my heart, you know. So there's just little things, personal things I need to get back home and take care of. And then, you know, just all the friends I made and the acquaintances and the contacts, and the consistent work I'm going to be giving up leaving here. But, you know, duty calls, it has to be
Will you be
done.
wrestling as much back in Canada?
I don't think quite as much. Like that holiday camp circuit was intense. That was one of the, 8 to 9 matches a week,
impressive.
Multiple matches a day, just going hard. There are tours, and I will be on those tours back home, but it won't quite match up to what you guys have. What you have here out here is very special. Very special.
I don't think we don't get it because we're kind of just within it. We don't really feel it. We're too busy living it. And then you go to other countries, or you have people coming over, and they're like, "Holy shit! The intensity, the quality of the wrestling as well." And we don't realize that we have one of the preeminent indie scenes in the world.
100%. I can't argue one bit, man. Like,
how far behind us would you say Canada is?
Well, I mean, like Canada will get like spurts. There's a great company out there called Canadian Wrestling's Elite. And every couple months they'll do like a 2-3 week long tour.
They're the biggest touring company.
Across Canada, so it's pretty good. But that's every 2-3 months or so, or every couple months. But here it's just bang, 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 and everything's so close together too. The drives aren't that bad. Like in Canada, I'm driving like 12-14 hours to get to a show sometimes. We're just a large landmass country. So here, you guys got it very good. I'm blessed to be a part of it,
What's the pay like in Canada?
Oh, like when I get back home, like I'm going to be, like I was before. I was wrestling from 2012 to 2014, like no other job, just wrestling. And that's what I plan on doing again, man. I'm going pedal to the metal.
It's possible to make a living off it then?
I'm going to be making a living off it, yes, sir.
That's good enough.
Merchandise sales and the payoffs and everything else. Yes, sir.
Got an online store yet for all your merchandise?
You know what? I'm so behind with the times. I'm not into technology
speak to
these
people
days.
like me,
That's
yeah.
what I've been told. I'm gonna have to look into that. I mostly just hustle my stuff at events.
Yeah.
So,
Have you brought stuff with you over here?
yes, I got Kamikaze t-shirts, 8x10 stickers. I'm selling little flash drives with like best of matches on them and stuff
Really?
like that.
That's
So
cool.
just
That's
trying
really
to do
smart idea.
different stuff, you know.
That's amazing. So I always say this to guys: when you're doing merchandise, think outside the box,
Right.
but also think of things that are cost impactive as well. Things
Yeah.
like you mentioned, stickers. You can get bulks of them, sell them for
Right.
£1 each. It's easy money. You know, a lot
100%.
of guys don't realise the entrepreneurial side of the business.
Yeah, look for that markup, you know.
What's the hardest thing for you as a wrestler, would you say? What's the one thing where you think, I still have a really hard time getting my head around that? Or is it?
I would say probably business.
business, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, just taking care of money matters and stuff like that. And like, I'm shooting for somewhere to make a living doing this and be comfortable, make a living doing this, but business is gonna be a big one. Woo! You never know what's gonna happen around here, right? But no, I'd say, just taking care of things outside of life, because wrestling's always been the number one thing. And it took me a long time to like realize, there's other things like taking care of money properly and, just your finances. So I think that is always something I can do better at and learn more about. So yeah, I'd say that's one of the big things.
Is it hard having to, you've got to shift, because you've been here, about 7 months?
Yep, 7
so
months.
you're going to be shifting completely to, once again, obviously it's a culture because it's your home, but you're
Right.
still changing culture, you're flying back to a different kind of
Yeah.
style of culture, different economical landscape,
Right.
different political landscape.
Right.
You're no longer obviously part of the Commonwealth, so, good for
Right.
you, all right, but, what's it like?
I'm gonna be taking back a lot of your slang when I come
Yeah?
back, like fair play with the
excellent.
lads and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, and just all the talk. But no, it's I'm ready for it. I'll be back home with welcome arms, see my family and all the wrestlers in the locker rooms. I'm gonna be coming back home too. But definitely got to come back here, 100%. I'm planning it. It's gonna happen. I'll be back.
How long are you allowed to stay out here when you do come out here? Is it about 6 or 7
About
months?
6 months.
You have to get a visa?
As a tourist. Yeah, I'm just as a tourist right now.
Yeah, because you can get a working visa, right? But that's
Yes, correct,
much
you can.
harder to get as well.
Yeah, I think it's doable, and I might look into it. I've actually been talked about being sponsored by people here as well, so that's
That's very
another
cool.
thing in my back pocket I might take advantage of next time.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
sponsored.
I think, it is difficult, but once you get over, we're more accessible than, say, Canada. It's a little bit more difficult. North America, especially, United States, very
Yes.
difficult. Do you plan on touring the United States as well when you
I
get back?
think I need to dabble back in now that the world's kind of gone back to normal again. I think, with all the mandates and the restrictions.
When Josh Alexander was on the podcast, he said that being Canadian, obviously doing Impact tapings when they were in Florida and things
Yeah.
like that, very difficult to go back and forth, which is why they moved to Canada, so that it was easier for
I
American
can see
talent
that.
to work.
It makes
So-
sense. Because, it is, that border from the United States is tough, man. They're just looking for any excuse, trying to nab you on something. So, but I think I do need to dabble back in there, 100%. Yeah.
What's the biggest highlight you think you've made here? Is there one that you can isolate? Was there particularly a match where you thought, wow, that's something that I never thought I'd achieve?
I just worked, I had a list. When I first came out, I was just eyeing up all the talent. I'm glad I got my hands on Brandon Lee, on Nathan Angel. Niwa, I'm so glad I got some matches with him.
Fantastic talent.
Joel Redman, I'm glad I got to have a main event match for the championship at All-Star Wrestling. And then James Mason was another one that I was eyeing up, and I'm working with him
British
multiple times.
royalty, yeah.
Oh man, he's the man. I'm so glad I got to work with him. And
I'd say Nathan Angel's the best wrestler you've ever worked.
right,
He's pretty special.
he's the rookie
isn't he?
sensation.
He's pretty spectacular. Oh, not again!
Sign of the prestige.
This was happened in part 1 as well, and I fell for it twice.
Yeah. I'm so glad James Farrell isn't doing a run.
We're going to miss Kamikaze when he goes back to Nadia. We definitely have to do hashtag bring back Cam or something. 'cause
You bring back Cam.
need him back in the UK scene.
Bring
man
back
knows.
Kazi.
But yeah, good stuff, good content from the Our Next podcast. as always.
Thank you very much, sir.
Brother,
We'll get Nathan Angel on one day, don't worry.
I'm gonna miss him.
Right
I'm gonna
before.
miss them all, man.
You've had the chance to spend a lot of time staying with Nathan there. What's it like? Is this the first time? Because obviously you've travelled other places, haven't you? Is this the first time staying with a wrestler and their family, or have you done this before?
No, you're like a traveling gypsy as a professional wrestler,
I'm embracing that, yeah.
the boys are accommodating and they're looking after their own, like Joel Redman and Nathan, and so many people have offered up to give me and help me out, a couch to crash on, a floor to crash on, an extra bed. We're just We're on the go all the time, man. We're just...
He's lurking in the background, but he doesn't want to come on a podcast. Cameron Anderson's lurking. Like, this is Cameo Central, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to
Cam and Cam, let's scooch over, let's bring him in.
Cam squared.
I wasn't going to say
anything.
anything.
Take a seat. Look at
I wasn't going to
this.
say anything.
Take a snapshot.
We just heard about these, like, you do some of these shows in Canada, and if you wander off, you just get eaten by wolves and bears.
Well, there are wolves, there are bears.
Just throwing out racial stereotypes here.
No, we got told, we're in the back.
We've got to have Tim Hortons when you come back as well.
Yes, Timmy Hose is good.
Tim Hortons is
Tim Hortons.
I drive past it every time.
I can hear Carl Wilkinson
You gotta try
waiting
it.
with jealousy.
The coffee's fantastic. They do all kinds. It's crazy here. It's like a bizarre world. You guys do like burgers and hot dogs. We don't have that.
Tim Hortons.
Yeah, Tim Hortons in Canada
Cam and
doesn't
Cam,
have
by
that.
the way.
Yeah, Cam squared here.
connection.
Yeah, good match tonight. Good match tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes.
Cameron Anderson here got to make his Wrestle Force debut as well. Congratulations, mate.
Master.
Very proud of you as always. Beat the Rat Master as well.
Yo, baby, yo, baby, yo.
No, don't put that over. Don't encourage him. Dear oh dear.
Yeah, man.
Any takeaways from Kamikaze Cam before he leaves? Because he's be leaving in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, obviously it's been really good having him along. I think I said this on the last show we were on in Worthing. I was just saying it's going to feel like something missing in the locker room. You know? It's like,
Jeez.
that's a big personality to have. Always,
Yeah. Become part of the British wrestling culture. I
I'm
think.
blessed to be welcomed.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's what part of leaving. It's bittersweet.
Like I said to you earlier tonight, like before the podcast, one of the highlights of the year is meeting you and having the chance to film a lot of your career, commentate on it as well. Like I'm hoping that footage, all that stuff is going to propel you even further.
Well, you've been very helpful with all the boys, with all your footage, and I'll be definitely taking advantage of that and like sending it off to other promoters.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, thank
Me
you.
and Cam are
Thank you.
primed and ready for a Canadian visit.
Right?
Let us know.
Let's
Canadian
make it
visit.
happen, boys.
Carl Wilkinson, you know what you did.
Do you want to cut a promo on your fellow Canadian Carl Wilkinson? He's a co-host on this podcast.
Oh, geez, Louise.
So we're going to come to you.
Or you could just say hello to him. He lives. We're going to come to your house.
day,
Bit dark, mate. Bit dark.
One day, Carl, just look out the window and just see us. We'll be ready for you.
Can you imagine all three of us just like
this?
Open a fucking door, Wilkinson.
We're coming for you.
I thought you were going to go full Booker T then. I was like, damn. I have to talk to Gabe about getting you an in-word pass.
I'm getting out of it.
Take it easy, brother. Congratulations tonight, man. Well done, mate. Bless you.
This is a wild and woolly episode we got going on
It
here.
is. Like I think it speaks volumes that so many guys want to kind of come over, say hello, say
Right.
goodbye, stuff like that. Yeah, like you said about having a bucket list, you ticked off all those guys, you got to work all those different guys.
I'd also have to add in, I just had a match at Premier Promotions with Mark Haskins.
Fucking wow, the premium heavy hitter of our business.
Yeah, like I didn't know much about him, to be honest, and then I looked him up and I got real nervous, man. And
You got to nudge John Freeman about getting those things recorded properly.
man,
Like,
I
that's
did
a match
record
that
it.
deserves to be on TV.
I made sure I filmed it. I have a copy of it.
It's funny because like you'd think like I want to do more and more shows to make money. Yeah, there's always going to be that element, but for me, the excitement of knowing people get to see, like for instance, your match with Sir Selfie.
Right.
All right, it's a silly match to a lot of people, but it's that thing of people wouldn't have got the chance to see you flex yourself comedically.
Right, yeah.
If it hadn't been recorded.
That is rare too.
That's more important to me than getting paid for this. Is actually guys getting seen and noticed,
Right.
having more exposure.
Right.
You know, and that footage is high quality. I like to think, so you can send that on to a promoter because that's kind of our business, isn't it?
100%.
It's all tech based.
It is, especially this day and age, more than ever before. But I'd have to say that Haskins match is probably, so far, I still got a couple more bookings to go, but probably my favorite match I've had out here so far. Hard-hitting competitor. It was, you know, and he was like already super established, and for me to just come in like and hang with him. When I lost, there was like a little girl crying.
Really?
She was upset that I lost. So we really had him in the palm of our hand. Great crowd, and thank you, John, for making that happen, giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, John Fremantle's preeminently one of the best promoters in this country, you know, and with the loss of Brian Dixon as well, it's almost like John, Stephen Barker, those guys are kind of the real old school guys left. They're the pillars that are left here.
I love
to
the old
take up
school.
moniker.
Nothing but respect. What else can I say? I wouldn't be here today if the old school didn't pave the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the biggest compliment I can give you is adaptability. You can be dropped in anywhere. TV, you could work in front of 20 people in a social hall or a social setting or whatever it might be. We could send you to a camp or a circus or whatever, and you'll bring a professional performance.
100%.
I still remember Anton Green after IWA, I asked him who stood out to you, and he said Kamikaze looks a cut above everyone else. Like a professional wrestler.
That means a lot, man. I mean, I'm trying. Rome wasn't built in a day, is what I tell a lot of guys. It takes time to piece everything together, throw things to the wall, see what sticks.
Graham Braganza would know all about that, wouldn't he? Like, what a beast of a man.
Yes, what a beast indeed. But you know, it's about just seeing what works for you. and I've finally pieced it all together, and I'm still evolving. I'm still, you can never just stay stagnant, and you're always evolving, but I kind of finally got all the pieces figured out, I'd like to think, and we're just going to keep evolving from there,
So when you come back, who's on the bucket list? Is there anyone you spotted and you thought, I haven't had a chance to wrap it up with them, but when I come back, they're game?
You know what? So when I got out of the business for 7 years, there was a lot of like either up-and-comers or trainees, or even like younger teenagers that were getting ready to get into the business. And I'm getting a lot of like messages from like, now they've been wrestling for the last 7 years and like they want to match with me. Like, so it's flattering. It's flattering, like the impact and the like just the what's the word I'm looking for? The impact and the impression that I've left on these kids. It's crazy. They want
to do that over here now as well.
Yeah, so. Just might open the door and build a bridge from Canada to the UK for some talent. You know what I mean? But
what do you think the UK's biggest strength is in terms of wrestling as you leave?
Consistency, plenty of work, lots of reps, and I really enjoy a lot of the training here. They don't just throw someone in after like 3 months of training. Like a lot of these guys will train for like 6 months, a year before they even have their first match. Yeah. And by then they're ready to rock and roll.
You wrestle Mark Haskins, it took him almost 2 years to get a match. You wouldn't think that, would you, when you see? But then sometimes that reaps better rewards.
It does.
Because you're more hungry for it and you're more ready.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, I did some training that play fight earlier, and there was one kid who just really stood out to me. He didn't even, I thought he had several matches, but he didn't work any matches yet, any live matches.
Wow.
This kid was like ready to rock and roll. Like, so I was like, why aren't you wrestling yet? But the training's good out here. You guys don't rush it. You take your time, get these kids ready to go. And I really appreciate that, because a lot of, especially in North America, it's the same old system. 3 months, take the money, and then send them off into the wild. And 3 months isn't a lot of time in a lot of ways to learn and figure all this out. You know what I'm saying?
No, it took me a lot longer, to be honest, and I'm still learning now. Like in my element of what I do in wrestling, like I've been going at it 6 or 7 years. Like still struggling to kind of sometimes work it out. Like you think you've got it worked out. Wrestling always is something where you're learning more.
Yeah, no, you never stop learning. Never ever. You never know it all, guys and girls.
Anything you want to say before we wrap it up? Anything in particular?
I'm thankful for everyone going out of their way to help me, put me in the right direction with the right people, for all the bookings and opportunities from all the promoters, for all the good people, friends that I've made out here. I'm going to miss you guys, but I will be back. I'm coming back. And it's just been a hell of a ride, a hell of an adventure. Yourself, everything you've done, brother, making everyone look good, editing, all the matches, the photography, like it's not just the wrestling. There's so much of a community, and I'm blessed to be welcomed into it and just to be a part of it. So thank you, everyone, for that. Thank you so much.
You're etched in the history of British wrestling now, which is very cool.
What is cool with all the other...
once it's on the internet, it's forever. So.
Yeah, like all the other Canadian talent in the past that has come through. I talked to James Mason a lot about that. I love picking his brain about things like that.
Oh, he's a mastermind, isn't he?
He's the man. James Mason is the man. But just to be part of that list now is pretty cool. I'm flattered and thankful to be here. I never thought I'd be here, and it's awesome. I'm blessed. I'm so blessed.
The only thing I'm gutted about is you won't get to be on All Star South's shows, because obviously
I know, just
until you come back, obviously.
Until I come back. I'm coming
You
back
missed the first one because you're ill. Second one's in December. You'll be back home by then. We'll make sure you get a nice copy of it so you can watch it.
Oh, thank you so much.
And particularly, obviously, you probably, as far as Brandon and Nathan go, they've probably been your closest compatriots, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, we've been traveling together, fighting each other. It's been off and on. Sometimes we get along. Other times we got to duke it out in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's been a blast. They're great up-and-coming talent, rookie sensations, and they're only going to get better. By the time I come out here next time, I'm expecting big things out of both of them. So.
They may not even be. They might be on TV.
Right?
They might be in
knows?
America.
Who knows?
They'll be flying past you on the way over.
It's true. It's so true.
Never know. It might be you as well joining them.
Oh, I hope so. That's the plan, man. That's the goal.
Is that the ultimate goal, TV still?
Yeah, 100%. I want to make some money and have some security and have a bit of a legacy. Have a bit of a legacy.
We get lost in it, don't we? But sometimes it's very difficult just to find security in wrestling.
For what you do to your body, we got to try and make some money out of this, boys. That's one big thing Roddy Piper taught me is you got to be in this, make some money. You can't ever, question my love for this and my passion, but at the end of the day, it's the money and the miles, man. We got to, for what we do to ourselves, there's got to be a little bit of a payoff at the end of it all,
No question. Well, it's unfortunately just around the 20-minute mark, which
All right, brother.
Those are the rules, you
This
know.
is the
I mean, we can
unofficial
splice it
rules.
into more. But genuinely, like I've said this off camera, but one of the biggest honours of it, and as you know, I'm going through a very difficult time, but it's really lovely to take solace in meeting people like yourself. And it's a real highlight. I remember meeting you at Rumble and sort of thinking, and I've told this story so many times, but I'm thinking, this guy's not Canadian. Like, I know what Stephen Barker's like. He's brought in some guy from the north and he's going to put a maple leaf over him and make it. And then I was sort of heard the accent. I was like, well, he might be American. No, he is Canadian, definitely. I could tell you were Canadian because you were very charming and very polite, as opposed to pulling a gun on me. So, and it's 18 plus. Get over it. But to be honest, I've been very timid by my standards.
Right.
But it's that thing of watching you sort of, you were so humble, took the time. I thought, and you know me, I'll take free promo shots for guys, try and help them out backstage.
Appreciate
and
it,
that promo shot is like kind of, you know, everywhere now. It's on all your graphics,
Dude,
all these sort of things.
That's your work.
And I just took that on a whim just for a bit of fun. I thought, well, I'm going to need one for his graphics anyway. And then I'll start seeing you at more and more shows, and I'll start ringing up promoters saying, hey, use this guy, he's fucking sick. And before you know it, you're actually one of the biggest stars on our scene. And that's very cool in 7 months to have been able to achieve that.
That's the thing. I think it's scary to think if I were to just stick around for another 6 months of what the possibilities are. But I'll pick up that momentum when I come back.
Now that put in a call to the Angel family, they could smuggle you into the cellar or something.
Right.
You never know. Like, to be honest, Rishi Sunak, you know, fuck that guy. Like, you know, as far as like immigration and shit goes, you're more than welcome here anytime, mate.
God bless you, man.
Thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Well, thank you for everything you've done, man. It's been a pleasure.
Stay in contact,
100%.
and we'll get you on the Wrestle Plug on the Zoom. I know it's not the same for everyone watching. We prefer to do them.
I know. I love this interaction.
I do as well because it's real. You know,
it's real.
Yeah, you get the proper tone for how people feel about 100%. Each other and that. But yeah, thank you very much, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing you in about 6 months.
Yeah.
And you can tell us all about TV.
You got it. I will. And shout out to Oli Blake. Get better, buddy. I love you. All the best to you.
Preeminent talent.
Thank you to everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much,
Thank you, brother.
Safe travels, man.
Thank you.
Take care. Woo!